starting to join in. I have just muted you all because otherwise we're going to have lots of back and forth. All right, this is Carter. He is called Yoga Dog, and hopefully he is going to behave in our class today. Otherwise, he's going to have to get kicked out. But he usually enjoys joining in. I see my cousins have arrived. Hello, Julia, Carlotta, Paulina. How are you? Good, good, good. All right, I can see we've got lots of people here already. Getting in early. So like I said, this is Carter. He is 6.5, 7 months now, and he has just had a hip op. And he needs to have another hip op on the other hip. So at the moment, he is a very, very needy little puppy and just loves love and attention. So he'll probably join in with a little bit of yoga today. So let's see who else we've got joined in. Ah, there we go. All right. So if you want to connect with a video, you're welcome to connect with a video. If you prefer to keep your video off, you can keep it off. It really doesn't matter. I have opened on the right a chat screen. And I've just said, hi, everyone. So if you have any questions, either before we start or at the end of the session, then you can always chat message me and I'll address those questions. Or then if we need to unmute someone to have a conversation, we can do that. But we'll do that afterwards. So if anyone needs to test the chat, I have just opened that up on the right. Carter, you need to let go of my pants, otherwise I can't move. So as people start joining, I see Roseanne and Julia have also joined in. Oh, we're going to have lots of people joining in at the moment, which is great. I thought I would just give you a quick rundown and kind of set in on what we're doing and how things are going. Roseanne also has her pooch with her, I can see. So we're going to do a very gentle yoga class today, and we're going to work towards the main pose being the dancer. So we're going to do a lot of work into the hips, looking at different movements with the hips, and I'll just repeat that in a moment when more people have joined. But for now, what you want to just make sure of is that obviously you have a yoga mat, and when you have place your yoga mat up, if you want me to be able to have a look to see how you're doing, just do it so that you've positioned it somewhere in your room or in front of your screen that works for everyone, for you and for me. Then what we're going to need are a couple of props which you can grab. So remember that after yoga we do a little bit of breathing and relaxation. So if you'd like to just have a jersey or a shawl or a blanket nearby, just make sure that you start getting that ready. For those who have a yoga strap, you can get one of those already. You might need it. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can get a belt, or I'm going to be using my dog leash. But again, if you don't have anything of that kind of nearby or handy, don't worry. It is not you really don't have to have one. And then, because I don't have any yoga blocks or anything like that, I'm just using a folded up towel, and I generally like to use this to sit on. So if you've got a yoga block that you want to sit on when we do some of the sitting work, you can do that. Otherwise, you can get a towel if you like to have a little bit of lift. So while I carry on talking, you can collect or get those things together already. I see Ashley and Bridget have also joined. Then what you might want to do as we kind of get ready is, what's always quite nice is often to just light a little candle and maybe just dedicate your practice to someone or something. So if you have a candle nearby, or next time you do a recording, you can maybe just light a candle and just take a moment to think of, okay, I'm dedicating this practice to, you know, my family, the people around me, those who I love, or just in general to everyone and everything out there. It's also always nice just to have something pretty nearby. So if you've got some lovely little flowers or shells or something that means something to you, you can put that close by so that it's just something pretty kind of by your screen. You can have it by your screen so that when you look up at me, it's not just a computer screen you're seeing, it's actually your eye line is drawn to something pretty. Obviously, I see Lana's got something pretty set up there now. Obviously, with the postures we're doing, because I'm not there kind of right with you and I can't put everyone, I can't take all of you off mute, you're going to have to obviously decide for yourselves which postures work and which postures don't. And obviously, if anything feels uncomfortable, you stop or you don't do it and you adjust. And sometimes it might be one or two postures and maybe it might be a whole sequence. And if that's the case, then you can always have a journal nearby and maybe just write anything that comes to mind. So sometimes you may not actually feel like having to do a physical posture and you can just contemplate and maybe some inspiration kind of hits you by just being in this presence that we have. So that is all I have on the yoga side of things. On the technical side, let me see what I've got here on my notes. So as far as I'm aware, for those of you who've got your cameras on, because I'm recording this, I think you are going to be recorded doing what you're doing. So just be mindful of that. I think certain people kind of come in and out of the screen sometimes. So just remember you will be recorded. If you don't want to be recorded, just turn your camera off. But it's actually quite nice for me to be able to see who's there and what you're doing and kind of the space you're in. So I leave that decision up to you. One really good tip that I have is no matter if you're using your phone or your laptop, please just see if you can connect your power cable because you don't want to have to run out of power halfway through. And also it helps with the brightness of your screen. So maybe just keep your phone or your laptop plugged in charged. And the same goes with the internet connection. Hopefully, especially all of those out in SA, I hope your internet connection is nice and stable and strong. I really hope mine is as well today. And if you find that it's just cutting out too much and it's just getting too frustrating with that happening, then maybe just call it quits and I'll send you the recording once we are done, because there's nothing worse than having someone stutter along and explain the posture to you. And like I said before, for those who've come, I have muted all of you right now because obviously if I unmute you, it will put the main screen on whoever's talking or breathing loudly, and that will just get very distracting because I see we've got already 11 people joined in. So we are going to listen to just my lovely voice for the next little while. And right at the end, we can have a group chat. And if you have any questions, I will answer those there. So yeah, that is that. We've had a good kind of quick 5-minute catch up. There is a chat. I think, let me just say it again. Hi all. Does anyone have any questions or anything right now? If you do have any questions, just pop that in for me now before we start. And if there are any technical issues that you're struggling with, just let me know now quickly, and then we'll get going again, or we'll get going shortly. Nina, you can pin your screen so you are big and the rest of us are on the side. Okay, so where do I do that? Let me just unmute you, Roseanne. Sorry, Roseanne. What do you want me to do?
So Nina, if you look on your thing, there are 3 little dots on the top left, right-hand corner.
Yeah.
And if you click on that, it says you can pin it.
I can pin it.
It says pin video. So we can, I think, are you with me? Or maybe the rest of us,
I'm not.
maybe the rest of us can pin you then. So then you're the biggest, you come out the whole screen and we just little icons on the side.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now that I've moved my chat, I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Does that help everyone? There should be a place where you can do a thumbs up where it says reactions. So you can do a thumbs up like that, or you can just put your thumbs up and I can see. All right. Let me just see the chat. Anyone else have anything to say before we get cracking? No. Good. All righty. And then from here, we will start off lying on our backs. That is always a good place to be. So when you are ready, you can come and lie on your back. And start off by testing to see how comfortable you are when you lie flat on your back. So as you lie flat on your back, stretch your legs out for a moment, release your arms, close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And as you lie there, give yourself a rating from 1 to 10. 1 being terribly uncomfortable and 10 being extremely comfortable. So just noticing if there are any tweaks or discomforts in your lower back, in your shoulders, in your neck. And if you're feeling any discomforts, see if you can adjust your posture a little. So notice if it feels more comfortable for your back, if you bend your knees up. And have the feet and the knees parallel. So don't have the knees dropping in towards each other this evening or this morning, depending on where you are in the world, or dropping out. See if you can have them parallel. If you find that this is less comfortable, then you can always straighten your legs out again. And if you find your neck needs a little bit of support, place a soft pillow or folded up towel to the level that you need it. See if that's more comfortable. And then like we did in our last session, see if you can work with a couple of full deep breaths. So as you inhale, feel the belly rise, the chest expand. Feel that you can fill the chest in all directions. So forwards, back, sides, bottom, top. And then as you exhale, feel that you're able to exhale the breath completely. So as you inhale, you're filling the lungs, expanding. And as you exhale, completely emptying. And now as you breathe deeply here, allow the rest of your body to relax. Allow your mind to settle. Allow your thoughts to quieten. And give yourself the next hour or so to be completely present. So in this space today, we're going to be focusing on our hips. So as you rest there, take your attention down into your hip joints already. Just notice the feelings or sensations that come up when you think of your hips. Is there a feeling of loving, respect, of gratitude towards them? Maybe if there's a little bit of a niggle in your hips at the moment, maybe your immediate reaction is that of frustration or annoyance. Again, don't try to feel that you have to have the perfect reaction or thought. Just notice what it is for you. And then realizing that the hip is able to move in certain directions. So your hip is able to rotate internally. So if your legs or your knees were to move in towards each other, you can already notice a little bit of a movement in the hips of an internal rotation. If you were to allow your knees to move out to the sides, your legs are straight and your feet flop out to the sides a little more, you'll notice that there's an external rotation. When your knees come towards you, you'll notice that you're closing the distance and that's a flexion, so you're squeezing into that area. And if you were to send your leg below the floor line, you would notice that there would be an extension in the hip joint where the hip would be lifting up and going back. So those are the four main kind of directions of movements, but then because they're able to move in all directions, we can also rotate into the hip joints. So we're going to keep the attention and the focus nicely on the hip joints as we work into our class. Right, and you need a little bit of that as well, Mr. Cross. So to start off here, place the hands into the abdomen and take 3 smooth, deep breaths in and out. So as you inhale, feel the belly rise. And then just sigh the air out, let the breath go. And again, take a nice, smooth, deep breath in. And sigh it out. And last time, breathing in deeply. And exhaling completely. And then from there, when you're ready, you can open your eyes again. If you do not have your knees bent, please bend your knees now so that you can have the feet flat onto the mat. Bring the arms kind of down alongside the body and in a little from where they have been. Bring the knees up to your chest, hands onto your knees, into your Apanasana, your energy-free posture. Inhaling as you straighten your arms, moving your knees away from you. Exhale as you bend your elbows, drawing your knees in towards you. Inhale as you straighten your arms. Exhale as you bend your elbows. Just a gentle, soft movement. Remember, you can always place your hands behind your legs, especially if your knees are struggling a little today. And once you've managed to kind of release after that relaxation pose, place the feet back down. Take your right arm behind you and extend your left leg out into the mat. And from this position, we're going to work the left leg and the right arm simultaneously at the same time. Breathe in smoothly here. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your left leg up as you bring your right arm down. And as you inhale, you're going to lower your leg and you to take your arm behind you. So that's one round. And we're going to do a set of 6. Exhaling as the leg comes up and the arm moves down. Inhaling as the leg moves down and the arm moves back. You're moving to the rhythm of your breath. Remember, we all breathe at slightly different rates. So you're going to be the kind of conductor of how your body is going to move this evening. If you find that 6 rounds is too much, then you do 4, 3, it really doesn't matter. If you feel that your breathing is a little quicker today and you feel you need to do 1 or 2 extra rounds, go ahead. But always try to keep the breath as slow and as smooth as possible. Once you've done your 6 rounds with your right arm and your left leg, you're going to switch over, bringing the arm down and bending the knee. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to extend your right leg out and your left arm behind you. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, your right leg lifts as your left arm lowers. And as you inhale, your leg lowers and your arm comes back. Doing a set of 6 of those in your own time, feeling that you can move again slowly. What we're going to be doing is all the dynamic movements this evening. We're going to be doing 6 rounds of those. When we hold anything statically, we'll be holding it for 6 rounds of breathing. So that will make things a lot easier. We're just going to stick to 6. And you, my friend, are a little terror this evening. All right. Once you have completed your round of 6, you're going to end by bending both knees and having both arms down alongside your body. Yeah. You do your stretches there, my boy. From here, on your inhalation, take both arms behind you. As you exhale, bring both knees to your chest. As you inhale, extend both legs up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bend both knees to your chest. As you inhale, bring both feet to the mat again. And then as you exhale, bring both arms down alongside your body. So that's one round, and we're going to be doing 5 more of those dynamically. So as you inhale, both arms go back. As you exhale, bring the knees to your chest. As you inhale, extend the legs up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your knees to your chest. As you inhale, place the feet onto the mat. And as you exhale, bring your arms back down alongside the body. Inhaling, the arms go back. Exhaling, the knees come to your chest. Inhale, extend the legs up. Exhaling, knees to the chest. Inhale, place both feet onto the mat at the same time with control. And then releasing the arms back down. If your shoulders take strain, please leave out the movement with the arms. When you bring your knees to your chest, make sure you're using your abdominal muscles to lift the knees to your chest. When you place the feet back down on the mat, make sure you're using the abdominals to do so slowly. Depending on where you are, we've got 2 more rounds. Inhaling as those arms go back. Exhaling as the knees come to the chest. Inhaling as the legs extend. Exhale as the knees come back to the chest. Inhale, feet to the mat. And exhaling, arms down. So depending on where you are, you've got 1 or 2 more rounds. I'm just going to have a quick squiz to see how everyone's coming along. There we go. That's all looking good, guys. Beautiful. Well done. Very nice. Cool. And then once you have completed your set, you can end by having the knees to your chest and again doing a few rounds of your Natarajasana, or just rest with the feet on the mat and take 3 smooth breaths into the abdomen. If you feel you need movement, you do your Natarajasana. If you feel you just need to rest after that dynamic movement, keep the feet onto the mat. Finding the breath again, feeling that lovely expansion in your chest. And then we're going to warm up the hip joints, taking it into hip circles. So what you want to do is possibly extend your left leg out into the mat. Again, if there's any trouble with your back, then you can keep your knee bent, and then you'll be doing a half a circle, not a full circle. But if you can, then extend that leg out. Bring your right knee towards you, and please use both your hands to support this leg. So we're going to do really small circles. We're going to open the leg just a little, the right leg, just a little to the right. Use your right hand to push the leg away from you, just to arm length. Then take it across to the left side. Let your left hand support that leg as well as you gently draw it across to the left and then back to the center. So we're doing a nice big or nice small circle with the right knee.
You can exhale as the knee comes towards you. And you can inhale as you press and you send that knee away from you. It's as if you're drawing an O or a 0 with your right knee if you were to have kind of a point or a pencil up, sticking up from your knee. So again, we are doing 6 rounds with the right knee in one direction. And then if your hip feels comfortable with that movement, stay on the right side, but just change direction. So you're now going to start circling the knee the opposite way. Again, you're still inhaling as the knee moves away from you and exhaling as it comes towards you. Try and keep the movement fairly small today. Trying to keep it a lot smaller than we normally do it. Normally we really allow that knee to open out to the side. But for today, see if you can keep it kind of small and contained, where your arm is doing a little bit more of the support work than it would normally do. Again, once you've done your 6 rounds, probably done a bit more now on that side of all my talking, you're going to release your right leg, stretch it out. You might hear a little crack or two. And before we move to the other side, just notice how this right hip feels compared to the left side, or maybe even in your back or your shoulders possibly. But you might be able to feel that there's a little bit more space, a little bit more openness here. And then from here, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So then draw your left knee in towards you. Let your right leg be relaxed. And then start off by allowing the knee to open out to the left. Send it away from you, so straight forwards. Draw it across to the right. And then back to the center. As you're inhaling, you're opening your knee out to the side and you send it away from you. As you exhale, you're guiding it back in towards you. Again, trying to keep the movement very small and contained for today. Remembering that when you're doing this, that there's no strain or effort required by your neck. You can relax the neck, you can relax the jaw. Once you've done your 6 rounds in one direction, do 6 rounds the other way. Seeing how slow and small you can keep that movement. And also maybe just comparing how this side feels compared to the other side. And again, once you've done your 6 rounds, release that leg. And with your legs out in front of you, again observing and noticing how that left hip feels compared to the right side. Always taking a moment to check in with the body. Bring the knees back up to your chest and take it into your circling Natarajasana. So as your knees move forwards now, take the right knee to the right, the left knee to the left, and then as you exhale, bring your knees towards you. So as you inhale, sending your knees forwards and opening them. As you exhale, bring your knees towards you and closing. Excellent. So you're continuing with a few rounds in this direction just to ease and to soften, bring back balance. If you feel that you'd like to change direction, do so. So from having your knees towards you, you're going to open them out to the sides, send them forwards, and then see if you can close them again. Nice. Circling those a few times in that direction. So the hips have now done kind of the full movement that they are capable of, or at least in that rotation. We're going to work into kind of the internal rotation and the external rotation. When you're ready, place the soles of the feet back onto the mat. Have the feet and the knees together. You can have the hands on the abdomen, or you can have the arms out to the sides. What we're going to be doing is Supta Baddha Konasana, or your reclined cobbler. As you inhale, allow your knees to move out to the sides so that the soles of the feet can meet. And as you exhale, activate your inner thighs. So squeeze the inner thighs to bring your knees back together and to close. Inhale as you allow your knees to open. And exhale, squeeze the inner thighs closed to bring the legs together again. So inhale as you're opening, noticing how you're getting that external rotation in the hip joints. And exhaling, squeezing the knees together, bringing them back to neutral, and a very slight internal rotation as you squeeze them. You've got about another 1 or 2 more rounds to do. On your 6th round or your 7th round, you can then allow your knees to stay open if you feel comfortable with that. If you find that it's too much on your lower back, please send your feet further away from you so that you can take the strain off the lower back. Or what you do is you place a little bit of support underneath your legs, one on the right side, one on the left side, and you allow your legs to relax in that position. You can keep the hands in the abdomen. If you feel that you'd like to go into a back bend, you can take your arms behind you and rest them there. If you find that it's too strong, please bring the arms back down. You're doing 6 slow breaths into the abdomen here. Feeling that you can relax and soften a little further. Again, feeling that as you inhale, you're creating space within the body, creating space within the hips. There's absolutely no rush to complete your 6 rounds. But when you have, then again, take your attention to your inner thighs, activate your inner thighs, squeeze them in towards each other. Bring your knees towards you and hold them there. Feeling that everything can come into alignment. As you bring your knees in towards you, notice how you're flexing into your hips. And then from here, we're going to come into a seated position. So you can hold on to your right leg, extend your left leg up, take it behind you, and swing yourself all the way up. You can turn to face me on your screen if you would like to. For those who have a block, you can use a block. If you want to fold a towel or blanket, you can sit on that, especially if you feel you need a little bit of support for your buttocks and your sitting bones. We're going to take the legs nice and wide apart. Bend your knees if you need to. If you feel that your hamstrings are a little tight or you've been doing a lot of walking. If you feel that you can keep them straight, you can keep them straight. Interlock your fingers. Imagine you're holding a nice big spoon. Extend yourself forwards. And from here, you're going to be circling. So breathe in deeply. And then as you exhale, go maybe just a fraction further forwards. Lean over to the right. So I'll try and mirror you. As you inhale, you're going to lean back. Over to the left as you exhale, coming forward. So as you inhale, you need to see if you can lean back today. And as you exhale, you're going to come forward. And as you do that, notice what is happening in the hips and the inner thighs. Again, we're going to be doing a set of 6 or so in this direction. Feeling that as you exhale, you can lean forward, emptying the lungs. As you inhale, you're leaning back. Watch if you don't lift your feet off the mat. Try and keep the heels
plant it down. Once you have done your 6 rounds in that direction, you need to do the same thing the other way. Just interlock your fingers the other way, so you're clasping your hands the other way, and then you need to lean over to the left, and then you need to come back, and as you exhale, going forwards to the right and around. And you might feel that your hips are starting to warm up a little bit more, and that you can make the circle a little bit bigger. So in yoga, we call this stirring the porridge or stirring the soup. And it's a really nice way of kind of working the arms. You probably find that your shoulders are getting a little tired here. So you're working the arms, but at the same time, you're working nicely into the waist and into the hips. Once you have completed your 6 rounds, extend forwards a little bit further, release the hands, take a nice deep breath in, exhale completely, inhale as you walk your hands towards you, and then bring your legs together. Oh, lovely. Give them a good little shake. And you can shake out your hands as well. And then from here, we're going to go into Ardha Paschimottanasana, your half a forward bend. So please keep your right leg extended. Again, I'll try and mirror you. And all that happens is you're going to bring your left foot against your right inner thigh. Now, if you find that your knee is up here, or if you've got any issues with your knee, you can use another towel or pillow or blanket and place it underneath there so that you can really relax into that hip. Sitting nice and tall, you're going to bring the arms up in front again. Cross your right thumb over your left. Relax into the shoulders. Make sure that you've got a nice long neck. Inhale smoothly and deeply. And as you exhale, imagine sliding forward as if you're sliding your arms along the table. And as you inhale, you're going to come back again. I'll give you a side-on view for that. As you exhale, you're going to imagine sliding forward. And as you inhale, coming back. As you do that, just watch that you don't collapse and you don't release and drop yourself forwards. Try and keep yourself nice and upright, and that you're really lengthening and feeling a good stretch into that right inner thigh. Remember that once you've done your 6 rounds dynamically, you're going to stay there. You're going to hold it for 6 deep breaths. Feel that you can lift and lengthen your spine a little bit more here. Relax into your neck. And after 6 rounds of breathing, we've got a few more breaths. But once you've done your 6 rounds of breathing by holding the posture, inhale as you come back up, and exhale, release the arms. If you need to, go ahead and circle your shoulders. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So you're going to keep your left leg extended. You can bring your right foot into your left inner thigh. It really doesn't matter how high or low it is, as long as your left leg is straight and there's a little bit of bend in here. If you can't bend this knee completely, you just keep your leg out to the side. Absolutely no problem. Again, this time we're going to use the opposite thumb, crossing your left thumb over your right. Relax your shoulders, inhale deeply, and then as you exhale, leaning forward. Inhale, coming back to neutral, and exhaling, extending forward. Keeping the arms nice and long, keeping your chest lifted. Allowing the corners of your mouth to turn upwards so that you're smiling. And if you're doing it with other people in the room, you can turn your head to them and smile at them. Or if you've got your dog with you, you can smile at your dog or whoop at your dog. No one can hear you, so you can do whatever you want, actually. So the next time you're forward, stay forward, hold it there. You may want to close the eyes for 6 rounds of breathing. If you find it gets too much for your shoulders, just release your arms down to your leg. You can still keep the position of your body. And when you feel that your arms are ready, you just bring them up again.
Remember that you don't have to hold or do any posture, especially if you find that it is getting too much or too strong. And when you're ready, inhaling, coming back up. And exhale, releasing the arms. Extend both legs out in front. So by doing that movement, we were working into a bit of a hip flexion. Now we're just going to release that by opening up to the front of the body. So from here, place your hands underneath your shoulders for your incline plane. Inhale, see if you can lift your buttocks. See if you can keep your feet flexed. So even though you're extending through your legs, see if you can keep your toes pointed up. Keep looking at your toes. So don't drop your head back. Keep looking at your toes. Push down through the hands and lift the hips and the pelvis. And then exhaling, coming back down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, release them. And we'll do that 6 times. So breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, release them. So 4 more rounds. Inhale, as you lift. You might find that your hips are happy to lift a little bit further. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, and float down. Inhaling, lifting the hips. Feeling the strength in the arms. Exhale, release. If you find your wrists take strain, all you do is you make fists with your hands. It also gives you the ability to lift a little higher there. Last one. And the next time you're up, you're going to stay here. Most of you who've been doing yoga with me knew that that was going to happen anyway. See if you can hold the posture for 3 or 4 rounds of breathing. And when you're ready to release, come back down and release. Straighten out your hands. Great. Right, so we've done a couple of postures lying on our backs. We've done a couple of postures sitting up. All focusing on the hips. Now we're going to come and lie on our tummy. So you can roll over onto your abdomen. Make a pillow with your hands. So you can slip your hands one on top of the other and place your forehead on your hands. And let your toes turn in and your heels drop out to the side. And notice how your lower back feels in that position. Notice or draw your attention down into your hips and your pelvis. And with your attention down in your hips and your pelvis, become aware of the position of them. Noticing, is there a bit of an inward turning of the hips, an outward turning of the hips, a backward or a forward turning or movement of the hips? Notice how they feel. And then straighten out your feet and turn your heels in towards each other and your toes out. Usually this feels a little strange. And again, notice the feeling or sensation up into the leg and up into the hip. Is this more comfortable for you? Is this less comfortable for you? What does this position do to your lower back? So at the moment, we're just observing. And then whichever position is more comfortable for your lower back, either with your heels turned in and your toes out like they are now, or the previous position where you had your toes turned in and heels out, go into the position that is most comfortable for you. And take 3 deep abdominal breaths. So as you inhale, feel that you can breathe deeply into your belly and that your abdomen is pushing down into the mat. And as you exhale, feel that you can release that pressure from the abdomen, letting go. So inhaling, feeling the belly kind of press into the mat. Exhaling, releasing that pressure. Doing one last round. So we're giving the abdomen a good massage as we lie here and breathe.
Now allow a natural breath to return. We're going to see if we can bend our right knee. And when you bend your right knee, see if you can sweep your right arm behind you and if you can grab hold of your foot. If you cannot grab hold of your foot comfortably, that is where you may want to use your yoga strap or your belt, or if you don't have any of those things, your dog leash. And all you do is you hook that around your foot and you hold onto it. As you hold on to your right foot or your belt, feel that you can press your hip bones evenly into the mat. So feel that you can gently press both hip bones into the mat. And as you press both hip bones into the mat, you might notice a slightly deeper stretch across the front of your right thigh. If you notice a nice deep stretch into the front of that right thigh, keep breathing deeply into it and feeling that you can release the tightness and the tension with each exhalation. Again, after about our 6th breath, we're going to release. Notice how that right thigh or that right leg feels compared to the left. Excuse me. And then do the same thing on the other side. You're going to bend your left knee, grab hold of your foot. If you can't grab hold of your foot, you may need a strap. Just gently guide the heel in the direction of the buttocks. It doesn't have to touch the buttocks. You can be miles away, it really doesn't matter. You'll already notice that there is a stretch through the front of that thigh. As you work your heel towards your buttocks, try and press both hip bones down towards the ground, towards your mat. And breathe deeply into the front of that left thigh. Lovely. And after about 6 rounds of breathing, you're going to release. If you feel your back is getting a little uncomfortable here, please just push back and release into an extended child's pose. If you're quite happy still lying on your abdomen, stay in that position because we're going to continue with another kind of posture here. So for those who've had to release their back, when you're ready, come and join us again. When you're ready to move on, we're going to be taking it a little bit further. So we're going to move back into our right side. So we're bending the right knee. See if you can grab hold of your foot or you can grab hold of your strap. Then you are welcome to just stay here for another 6 rounds of breathing, or for those who would like to go a little bit further, you're going to extend your left arm out in front of you. You're going to keep your right thigh on the mat and your hip bones pressing down into the ground. So we're really going to ground and root through the bottom half of our body. But as you inhale now, you're going to lift your left arm, your head and your chest, but keep your arm to the level of your ear. Don't take your head higher than your arm. Exhale, bring your arm and your head back down. Inhaling your left arm and your head lift. Keep looking down at your mat. Exhale, release back down. 4 more, breathing in, allowing that left arm and your head to lift. Exhaling back down. Continuing with 3 more. If you find it is too strong, you can work with just the arm and not your head. Or you hold on to just your foot and you don't work the arm and the head. You just keep that extension through that left arm. Once you've done your 6th round, see if you can maybe stay up at your highest point just for 3 rounds of breathing. We won't hold for 6. When you need to release, come back down, stretch that right leg out, Stretch both arms up. Imagine sending your feet far away from you, your hands in the opposite direction. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then release and do the same thing on the other side. This time you're going to hold onto your left foot. Keep your right arm extended. Work the hip bones into the ground. Keep your thigh on the mat today. And as you inhale, lift your right arm and your head. And as you exhale, coming back down. So do 6 rounds of those. I'm going to see what you guys look like and have a quick squiz to see how things are going. Perfect. Excellent. Lovely, guys. Okay. Again, on your 6th round, you can keep your arm up and you can hold it there for 3 rounds of breathing. If you're deciding that you've had enough, you come down. When you're ready to release, push up with your hands, take your buttocks to your heels, and extend back into your child's pose. You can take it into Balasana. If you need your frog, open your knees nice and wide, bring your big toes together, and fold through the center. You can rest on your forearms. You can make fists of your hands and rest your head on your hands. If you find being in a forward fold is not comfortable, you are welcome to stay up seated. Feeling that you can breathe slowly and easily in whichever position you are choosing to recover and rest in. And then when you are ready to come out, walk your hands towards you, slowly uncurl. You can bring your neck and head last. You can lean back to drain the sinuses. And then from there, come onto all fours, tuck under your toes, lift your knees, walk your hands towards your feet or your feet towards your hands. Bring in a floppy forward bend. And when you're ready, slowly uncurl, bringing your neck and head up last. When you're all the way up in a standing position, you can support your back with your hands and you can gaze up. Super. Right, we're going to take it into a forward bend sequence. I'm going to demonstrate a round and then thereafter we'll do 6 rounds together. For those who've been with me before, you'll probably know the sequence, but you may just want to watch around so that you can be reminded of it. We're going to start with the feet hip width apart. The inhalation will be bringing the arms up. Our exhalation, we're going to come into half a forward bend. So we're going to try and have the spine parallel to the ground. So that's our exhalation. We're going to inhale, we're going to see if we can lengthen a little bit more. We're going to exhale as we sweep the arms alongside our hips. Then we're going to inhale as we sweep the arms back and really lengthen through the spine. Exhale, come all the way down. We're going to retain the breath for a moment as we bend the knees and drop the buttocks. And then inhale, press down into your feet as you scoop up using a squat. And exhale, releasing the arms. Right, so that's the sequence. We're going to see if we can do 6 rounds. If 6 rounds is too much, you just come up, you stand, and you rest in this position until we're all done. Right, inhaling, reaching the arms up into the fingers. Exhaling, come halfway down. Inhale, hold the posture and reach into your fingers. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Inhale, bring them back, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, come all the way down into your forward bend. Retain the breath, so hold the breath as you drop your buttocks, and then breathe in, scoop yourself up using a squat. And exhale, floating the arms back down. Super. 5 more rounds. Inhaling as you reach the arms up. Exhaling halfway down. Inhale, reach into the fingers, lengthen through the spine, bend your knees if you need to. Exhale as you sweep your arms back. Inhale, sweep them forwards. Exhale all the way down. Hold the breath as you drop your buttocks, and then inhale, lift yourself up. And exhale, release. And keep going. In your own time, find your rhythm. You should have the movement comfortable now. Really feel that you can lengthen on those inhalations. Scoop the arms on the exhalation. Sweep them back again on the inhalation as you lengthen. Release down with awareness. Feel that you can float up easily. Exhale completely. And you continue. Feel that you're able to build up a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth. Feeling the legs and the back moving comfortably. If there's any strain in your lower back, make sure that you bend your knees even more. Let's do one more round. Inhale, and as you find that you can work into those shoulders really comfortably. That's looking excellent. Lovely, guys. Exhaling completely. Release. Super. And once you've completed standing comfortably, you may want to close your eyes for a moment. Soften into your knees. Let your knees bend. And feel the breath moving in and out. If you need to relax and circle the shoulders, do so. If you feel you need to move your head a little from side to side, do that. Whatever movements you feel are necessary to ease and to release if there is any last little bit of tension in the body. Noticing any sensations in the arms. Might be a slight warmth or a tingling sensation. Noticing any sensations in your thighs. And then take your attention right down to the soles of your feet. And you might find that there's a tingling sensation in the feet or an activation. There might be a slight warmth. And now allow a bit more of your weight to shift onto your right foot. So it feels as if you're gently swaying to the right side. You're going to open your eyes and try to focus on a point in front of you, preferably not me on your screen, as I'm moving, because we're going to be taking it into our dancer balance. So you're going to place the weight into your right leg. You're going to keep the knee on the right side a little soft. Your left knee you're going to bend. And as you bend that knee, you're going to see if you can grab hold of your foot or your ankle. If you're not able to reach your foot, remember you can always hook onto your strap. So you just hold onto the strap. If you've got a wall to your back, you can always hold onto your wall for support. And then when you're ready, you can reach that left arm up alongside your ear and you can hold it there. What you want to try and aim for is to work your knee so that they're in line. So you want to try and work that left knee a little further back. You want to try and work the heel towards the buttock. And as you extend that arm up today, you want to see if you can feel a sense of weight down through the sacrum, through your buttocks, just sinking down. Holding it here for 6 rounds of breathing. For those who want to go into the advanced posture, you're welcome to do so, but we're not going to do, well, I'm going to do that one instead. For those who are familiar with the kind of advanced dancer, you're welcome to extend into it. Otherwise, we just stay here, we keep the length, and we keep the strength in that right leg. We're going to then release the arm and the leg. And you may want to just move those hips a little from side to side. And then when you're ready, you're doing the same thing on the other side. So you need to now allow the weight to shift into your left leg so that you can ground through that foot. When you're ready, you can bend your right knee, you can grab hold of your foot or your ankle. And if you can see yourself on the screen, that is really good because now you can see if you're hiking a hip or not. So you want to try and keep your hips nice and level. You want to try and make sure that you keep your knee in line. See if you can feel the weight of the pelvis drop, and then when you're ready, bring that left arm up. And you can reach into the fingers and relax into your shoulder. And if you're dancing around, it's quite all right. It is called a dancer. You can always go into the posture again if you fall out of it. For those who'd like to go into the advanced version, you can do so. Otherwise, just stay here and hold it. You can see that there's quite a bit of dancing happening today. When you are ready and you've held it for about the same amount of time as you did on the other side, you can release that right arm. You can release, or your left arm, you can then release the right arm, release the legs and circle the hips. Moving gently into kind of one direction, moving the other direction. So what you would have found with the dancer is that by taking that foot back, you were working into a nice, gentle little hip extension, where the hip or the leg bone was moving backwards, and you were creating a sense of openness through the front of the hip joints. So once those hips are soft and loose, we are going to come back down onto our mats. However, we are going to do so in a very sneaky manner. That means if you're feeling comfortable and your knees are comfortable and you're feeling quite strong, you can come down by crossing your right leg over your left. Let me just mirror image for you, your right leg over your left. And then you need to come down into a seated position. If you know your legs can't hold you there, or if it's a bit too strong, you're just going to bend down into a squat and come seated that way. But for those who are going to do it, you can bend your right knee over your left, and you're going to come into a seated position. With that happening, you're going to slip your left knee underneath you, and you're going to keep your right knee on top for a twist. Now, if you find that this angle is too strong for the bottom knee, please extend that leg out and keep that leg straight. Right, it really doesn't matter. If you have no issues with that knee, you can bring it so that it's alongside your buttocks. Try and get both sitting bones down onto the ground, and you can slide your front leg, so your right leg, as far forwards as you need it. Keeping your chest nice and open, you're going to grab your left arm, wrap it around the front leg. Bringing your right arm forwards, breathing deeply. And as you exhale, you're going to sweep that arm around you. You can follow your arm with your eye line. You can place the hand down into the mat, and you can hold your twist in this position for 6 smooth breaths. Inhaling, feeling the beautiful length through the spine. Allowing the exhalation to maybe move you a little deeper into the twist. Each inhalation, your spine lengthens. As you exhale, feel that you can push comfortably down through the sole of your right foot. As you exhale, feel that you can relax the sole of your left foot. Feeling that there is a sense of space and expansion in the forehead. A sense of lightness and openness. And then after those 6 breaths, bring that arm back up. Take a nice smooth breath in and bring yourself back to the center. Good. And then just gently twist open into the opposite direction and come back again. Right, so if you're feeling super energetic, you're going to come up standing from here and you're going to swivel yourself the other way. If you feel that you're happy that you just landed on the mat and don't have to get up again, you can just switch over the legs. So for those who want to be energetic, you're going to come back up standing and you're going to swivel backwards and then you're going to swivel forwards and then you're going to come back down in that position. And then you'll find that this time you're going to have your, what leg is that? Your right foot next to your buttock, and you're going to have your left leg forwards, your left foot forwards. Right, if it doesn't work for that knee, if it's feeling a little tweaky, keep that leg out in front. Feel that your spine is nice and long. Wrap your right arm around your leg, breathing your left arm up. And as you exhale, twist into your leg. You can place your hand behind you and look over that left shoulder. And same as before, each inhalation, you're nice and long. Each exhalation, you're softening into your shoulders. Slow, smooth, steady breaths. Noticing the gentle pressure on the lower abdomen. Noticing the space through the throat and the neck. Noticing the space in the forehead. Again, after your 6 breaths, your arm can lift, breathing in as you exhale, come back to the center. And open yourself to the other side. And releasing again. Extend both legs out in front of you. And give them a shake. Super. A very soft, floppy forward bend. It can be any forward bend of your choice. If you want to have your legs a little apart and just fold and soften over them, you can do that. If you want to have your legs together and slip your arms underneath them and rest your forehead on your knees, you can do that. If you want to go into your traditional Natarajasana and fold all the way forward, doing that. So whichever version you feel like doing this morning or evening or afternoon, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome to do. Just allowing again the spine to find that neutral position to come back into alignment. And then slowly uncurling or coming up with a straight spine. If you need to lean back for a moment, go ahead and do so. And then from here, we're going to do our pranayama, some breathing, and we're going to do it in a seated fashion. So if you need to slip back up onto a little bit of support, please go ahead and do so. With the last class we did, we worked on a lot of sectional breathing. Today we're going to focus on the traditional yoga breath, called your J breath. Most of you know it and should be comfortable with it. So remember, it is just a very soft, rasping sound in the back of your throat. So we are going to do it with the mudra this time, working into what we call the Dhyana mudra. And what it is one hand resting on the other, and with your thumbs lightly pressing or resting against one another. And what you're working with is kind of Ida and Pingala, Ida being the feminine energy, and that corresponds to kind of the an energetic kind of line that runs along the left side of your spine. And Pingala, which is seen more as the solar, the masculine, and that runs along the right side of your spine. So for women,
you're going to have your left hand on top of your right hand, and for men, you're going to have your right hand, your finger, the solar, on top of your left, and the thumbs are touching. Right, so you can rest your hands on your lap wherever you kind of is most comfortable for you. We're going to soften into the shoulders. You can have your eyes focused on a point on the ground in front of you, or you can gently close them. We'll be moving into 12 rounds of the Ujjayi breath. So if you feel comfortable with your Ujjayi breath, you're taking the attention into the back of the throat, and you're listening to that soft rasping sound, feeling the air flowing in and out. And remember that sound is audible to just yourself. It should feel as if you're sighing the air out. And it takes quite a long time to master the breath. So if you're not getting it immediately or right now, don't stress about it. Just keep breathing in and out comfortably and easily. But it should feel as if you're sighing the air out. And instead of sighing the air out through your mouth, you're closing your mouth and you're sighing the air out very, very slowly through your nose. And that sensation, you should feel that there's a bit of a restriction in the area of the epiglottis. And when you get comfortable doing that on the exhalation, see if you can do it on the inhalation as well. So it should sound as if it's kind of the waves of the ocean. Like my brothers like to call it the Darth Vader breathing. Just seeing if you can pick up that sound in the back of your throat. And if you can keep your face and your jaw relaxed as you do that. So often when we take our attention into the pit of the throat, or back of the throat, we start to clench the jaw. And see if you can keep your jaw relaxed, your cheeks relaxed as you do the breath. And what you'll find is that with time, your breath becomes a little slower, a little longer. You'll be able to utilize it as you work with or into your yoga postures. When you're doing really slow yoga postures, it's lovely to practice or do it with that. It takes you into a slightly deeper meditation. You might even be able to hear Carter doing his Ujjayi breath through the door. We're going to do just 2 more rounds. And after your last 2 rounds, you're going to release the practice. So just release the awareness of the back of the throat. You can bring the palms of your hands together, get your hands really nice and warm. And then cup them over your eyes. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Then from there begin to blink your eyes as you move your hands away. And we'll make ourselves comfortable for relaxation. So for those who still have a little bit of time and are able to do relaxation, you can now make yourself comfortable. You can come and lie on your back, or if you need to put on socks or jerseys or a shawl, you can do that. If you need to slip a blanket over you, you can go ahead and place a blanket over you.
eye bags, all of those goodies, getting yourself comfortable and getting yourself together. I'm going to stay seated because you'll be able to hear me a lot better in this position. Again, when you're ready, you come and lie on your back. You may need to do a few rounds of your Natarajasana. You just want to check in and see how you're feeling. You want to bolster or roll that mat under your legs. You can place that there. So whatever you're needing, grab that. Make sure you're completely comfortable. We'll have a good 10-minute relaxation here. So I'll keep an eye on the time so that you know, and we'll try and be done by about 7:20 our time. Right, so as you make yourself comfortable, start by just allowing your head to lower a little from side to side, releasing any tension from the back of the neck, and then bring your head back to the center. You can then make tight fists of your hands, reach your hands down towards your feet, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax and release, soften your arms, soften your hands, and relax. Then flex your feet, tighten your thighs, tighten your buttocks, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And as you exhale, relax and release, soften your legs, soften your feet, and release any tightness in your buttocks. Inhale deeply and allow your belly to rise. And then sigh the air out, let the breath go. And again, a nice full deep breath in. And out. And last time, breathing in deeply, breathing in fully, allow your whole body to expand. And then let it go. Now allow your breath to settle. Allow your whole body to settle. And take a moment to feel the ground, the earth beneath you, the support. And realizing that that support is there, allow yourself to surrender into it. And as you surrender into the warm embrace of the earth, allow your attention to move up to the crown of your head. Notice a beautiful, soft warmth entering the crown of your head. That warmth is relaxation. And you're going to allow it to flow easily and effortlessly through your whole body. So you start off by allowing that warmth to travel across the forehead and down your face, relaxing your eyes, your cheeks and your ears. And just traveling down the back of your head, relaxing the back of your head, your throat and your neck. Allow the warmth to travel across your shoulders, down your arms, relaxing your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, wrists, hands, and each of your fingers. Allow that warmth to spiral down your spine. And as the warmth moves down your spine, you're relaxing your upper back, your shoulders, your
back, your lower back and sacrum. Right down to your buttocks. And then you notice how the warmth begins to travel through the front of your body, relaxing into your chest, your lungs, your ribs, and your heart. Relaxing your diaphragm, your abdomen, and all your abdominal organs, your stomach, spleen, and pancreas, the gallbladder and liver, the small and large intestines, kidneys, bladder, and your whole lower uterine area. Relaxing into your hips. And then the warmth traveling down your legs, relaxing your upper leg, knees, your lower legs, ankles, feet, and each of your toes. Allowing your body to be completely relaxed. That comfortable, warm, keeps traveling and relaxing through your whole body. And in that state of relaxation, you become aware of your breath as it flows in through both nostrils and out through both nostrils. Following the breath in and out through both nostrils. Experiencing the breath in both nostrils. As you focus on the breath in the nostrils, eventually you'll notice your awareness shifts or settles to your third eye center. You find that the awareness starts to move more and more there. Allow your awareness and your focus to be at that point fully and completely. So it feels as if you're breathing in and out through your third eye center. That center of knowing. That center of intuition. Feeling a lovely softness and warmth in that space. Realizing that all the questions, no matter how simple or deep or intense they are, all the answers are already within you. All we're doing this evening is trying to quieten the mind, focus on one point, and allow whatever answers arise to arise. And as you focus on that third eye center, it might be a sensation, You might notice a color or a feeling. Or there might just be nothing. It might just be a blank canvas. Continue to observe that space. Just a little longer. Then realizing that answers you seek, again, they are deep within you. All we need to do is quieten the mind a little and go in. So for now, draw your attention a little further down to your heart center, into your chest. And begin to breathe a little more deeply, noticing the rise and the fall of your chest. You're slowly starting to wake your body up, bring yourself out of relaxation. As you begin to breathe a little more deeply, allow the thumbs to move along your fingertips, waking up your hands, and wiggle your toes, waking up your feet. When you're ready, you can stretch your arms out behind, and you can yawn really loud because no one can hear you. Stretching diagonally through your body, your right arm and left leg, left arm and right leg. Arms one ready, exhale, take a nice deep breath in. And let it go. When you're ready, hug your knees to your chest, give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock a little from side to side, go ahead and do so. Eventually, just roll all the way onto your right side and just stay there for a few moments, a minute or so as you roll onto your right side. You can always place your right hand or arm underneath your head so that it creates a little bit of a pillow. And as you lie there on your right side, take a moment and think of 3 things that you are grateful for. Again, no matter how small or how big, 3 things that you are grateful for today. And then take a smooth, full breath in. Sigh the air out. Again, there's absolutely no rush to come up, but when you're ready, you can place your left hand onto the mat in front of you. You can push up into a seated position. And I thank each and every one of you for being here and joining us on this kind of evening or morning or wherever you are in the world. And yeah, thanks for making it a really, really special time and for getting me to do this and actually be able to see all of you. I forgot how much I miss, miss teaching all of you guys. All right, so I am going to come up to the screen. If anyone has any questions or anything like that, feel free to type those through to me. And if anyone has any questions, I can unmute you and we can then chat. So there you go. You're welcome, Julia. Good to see you. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. I hope everyone's been able to find their chat. I'm going to just see what happens when I stop the recording.